Hello everyone, it's Han, and finally, after 3 years plus, I think, around there, I'm finally going to make another guide on a boss in MapleStory, and this time it is for Crimson Queen because I probably have enough footage for it this time, but if I miss some of the skill with the footage is because I probably don't have the proper footage at the time and place at the moment, but don't worry, I will do my best to explain what each of her skill does and what she will do. So yeah, let's get into it and let's dive into how to defeat the Crimson Queen in MapleStory. Probably C, but I think this applies to all MapleStory, hopefully. So let's begin. According to MapleWiki, the Chaos version of Crimson Queen has around 140 billion HP. Okay. She's resistant to all the elements in the game, basically all magic and physical attacks without elemental ignore, and she has the physical and magical defense rating of 120%, which is actually lower than most of the endgame bosses, since the endgame bosses like Vellum, Lotus, they all have around 300%, but she has 120. So ignore defense won't be as big of a priority as your rest of your stats, but it still will help if you have a lot. So okay, now that you know her stats, it's right here, pretty standard stats. Let's get to know a bit more of her skill and her kit and how to avoid or take on that skill and defeat the Crimson Queen. So the Queen's skill is divided into, or are divided into 4 cycles in the game. This is because the Crimson Queen has 4 phases. So depending on which mood or phase that she's currently showing, she will use a specific amount of skill or a kit that she has. So what skill and the current kit that she has depends on the phase and mood that she currently uses. So yeah, let's get into it. She has 4 phases. I will call each of the phase by different names so you would know easier, I guess. The first phase is, I'll call it the default phase, because no matter what round, how you enter Sierra or normal Ra, Crimson Queen will always start with this phase. It is probably her first phase that she will use, her default phase, I'll call it. Her second phase, I'll call it the evil phase, because she looks evil in this phase, I guess. I don't know. The third phase is called the sorrowful phase because she is sad in this phase. That's about it. That's why I call it that. And her final and fourth phase, I call it the lustful phase, because she looks kind of horny in this phase. That's why I call it that. She also has a massive claw and swing attack at every phase, but each phase claw swing attack, even though the animation is the same, will have a different set of debuff on your character depending on the phase that she's currently using, and I'll go into it more on it later, so don't worry about it. So let's begin with the first phase. I'll call it, as I said, the default phase, and it's always the phase that she starts with, okay? This phase mainly focuses on dealing damage over time to your character and your party member with fire, or she can instantly kill you with fire as well. So yeah, the first skill that she uses during this phase, I would call is the flaming skull thing, which is probably on this screen right now. This skill is, once she uses this skill, everyone in the map and battlefield, I think unless if you're far enough, which is pretty hard because the map is pretty small, so you can't really run away from it, everyone in the battlefield or map will be covered in a fiery aura. The aura will then slowly burn everyone and you will slowly take damage over time. The damage is actually pretty high, so how the damage is dealt is actually it's a fixed amount. The damage over time always starts at 3,600 damage, which is 3.6k damage, and then when she uses the skill again, it will tick up all the way to 7.2k. then third stack is 10.8k. Is it 10? Yeah, 10.8k, and it goes more and more for every stack. It increases by 3,600 fire damage every time, so basically it gets harder and harder to tank the fire. So I'll teach you the ways to get rid of the fire. There's only currently, I think, 2 ways to properly get rid of the fire. Okay, the first way is the way that you probably don't want to do, but if you run out of options, that's probably the only way, is to commit suicide. Yeah, I mean, dying is a sad thing, but I mean, dying will completely remove the fire stack that you previously possessed, but so yeah, but the downside is, I mean, you die, so try not to do that, I guess. The second way to get rid of the fire correlates to another skill that she has in this phase, which is she will inhale a huge amount of air. You can see from this image here that she like and then she breathes out a big breath of fire, which the damage is fixed as well, and scales the amount of damage to the amount of people tanking the fire together. So if more people is tanking the fire together, the damage is split more, which means the damage is less for every person that's standing there and tanking the fire with you. So example is, if there's one person standing in the fire, it will deal 80,000 damage to you, and if there's 2 people tanking the fire with you, you will take 40,000 and then 26,000 and so on and so forth. I'll probably make a quick picture here on how much damage she deals to every, if how many person standing there, how much damage she'll deal with the fire. So yeah, there you go. So the more people the tanking together with the fire, the better, and in general, the more HP you have as a character, the better. This is why Demon Avengers and Dark Knight usually don't have a big problem fighting Crimson Queen, because they usually can tank the fire themselves because they have enough amount of HP. But yeah, if someone in your party, if you're going in a party, decides to be brave and tank the fire, and you have a lot of people standing behind him and probably being brave, you should stand behind them and tank the fire, because there's probably a very high chance you can tank the fire. Yeah, and once you tank the fire, the fiery aura around you, the stacks, will be completely nullified and removed. So yeah, that's the second and I think the only way to properly remove the fire stacks. You can't dispel it. When you die, door gets lost and you still have the fire aura. So yeah, even reincarnation can't remove the fire. Leaving the map removes the fire as well, but I mean, that's leaving the fight, so yeah. So that's something to keep in mind. So tank the fire if you guys have enough party member, and yeah. Also a quick note, take note of this, is dead person count as a person tanking the fire as well. So if you're the only one there that's still alive and you have say 3 party members standing behind you, you'll probably take 20,000 damage only instead of the full 80,000 damage, because dead body does count as someone tanking a fire with you. So keep that in mind when you're trying to get rid of the fire stacks and your party member is dead. Also be careful, that fire aura damage thing burns your party member around you as well. Even though if they don't have fire and you follow them, they probably die, which will make for pretty hilarious times actually, but that's up to how sadistic you are. I won't judge. The claw attack for this phase or mood, whichever you want to call it, is it induces blindness to your character vision, so your vision will be limited when you get clawed, and this will make it hard for you to predict which way she's gonna blow the fire, whether you want to tank it or not. So if you want to tank the fire, she blows at the right side but you didn't know and you jump to the left side, that means you missed the tanking. Or if she wants to blow at the left side and you don't want to tank it and you jump to the left side and then you die from the fire breath thing, and yeah, then you die. Basically almost every claw attack of the queen applies a debuff that is away advantageous to her phase of their current mood / phase. So okay, so that's the first phase. The second phase I would like to talk about the Crimson Queen is the evil phase, I call it, or another nickname probably is the vacuum cleaner phase, because this phase she turns into a giant suction vacuum cleaner. Okay, this phase is pretty straightforward. The queen only have 2 skills, not including the claw. because claw is in every phase. Her first major skill is of course the vacuum cleaner skill, where she bend herself down, start opening her mouth and begin sucking. That sounded a lot worse than I thought, but let's move forward, okay? Avoid a head-on confrontation when she's sucking. That means don't go face to face with her, because once you take damage from her suck, that means you touch her when she's sucking, yeah, you're gonna die from that. It's a one-shot kill, so don't get touched by the vacuum cleaner. However, here's the thing to take note as well. The vacuum cleaner is only effective from the front. If you're standing behind her at her back while she's sucking, you should be okay and you can keep attacking her. So if she's sucking in the front at the left side, you are at the right side, even if you get pulled in, you probably won't be pulled in from the front and you'll probably survive and you can keep hitting. Unless she uses her second skill, which I'll go into now. Her second skill in this mode/phase is a porthole. She will create a porthole on the floor, which will slow down your character if you're standing on it, and you take some small damage over time, which still is damage. And it'll make you harder to run because you're stuck there, unless you flash jump, I guess, or rush away or teleport away, but it's still pretty annoying. So yeah, it's for you to be harder to move around when she's sucking. However, take note, when she's sucking at the left and the porthole is somewhere at the left, maybe near her, very near her, and you're at the right side and you're attacking her, and you should be okay because sucking doesn't suck in the people from behind. You probably won't be sucked in by her vacuum, but you'll probably be sucked in by her porthole, which you get sucked in and probably get hit by the vacuum and take damage, and that's what probably will cause your death if this happens. So keep that in mind. Porthole and vacuum works hand in hand. If there's a porthole near the vacuum, it's a lot easier for her to suck your character in. Best advice I would give is probably, if this happens and you're not confident, just run away from her and get as far away from her as possible, because yeah, it's pretty annoying. And her claw attack during this phase is a reverse movement, which makes it a lot harder actually to move away from her vacuum, because you probably want to run to the right and she's sucking at the right, so you're trying to run away from her, and then she suddenly whacks you with a claw. Your character will run left, and then she sucks right, and then your character will go left, and then you're like, oh no, he's going left. So you click left, but then after that the reverse movement is dispelled, because you know how status resist works now. Your character will run left and you're actually running towards the vacuum, and it's just a bad time from there. So yeah, avoid getting hit by the claw in this form. It's pretty annoying. It's not great, not a good time at all. That's all the what's it called again? Skill she has in this phase. Pretty straightforward. So let's go on to the next phase. Oh, keep in mind all her phase shares the same HP, so it doesn't matter which phase you hit. Any phase that dies, she dies, because that's the same body, it's just different phase. So the third phase that I'll be explaining in this guide is the sorrowful phase, the sadness phase, I'll call it. This phase is, in my opinion, one of the harder phases to deal with for the Crimson Queen, especially if your party does not have a lot of damage, where you're slowly chipping Crimson Queen's damage. Yeah, this is not a good phase for you. Probably one of the worst actually. So the main skill of the Crimson Queen in this phase is her damage reflect. She'll hold her hands together in a praying motion. I'll probably have footages of it in the video, but she'll probably do it like this, and then she probably have a red bubble around her, which will deal damage reflect to you. During this phase, please don't attack her. Everyone knows what's damage reflect. Any damage you deal to the boss, you take the damage, so it'll probably one-shot you. It's pretty high damage as well. The damage reflect is around 50,000 damage, so unless you're a explorer, warrior, or a demon avenger, yeah, you're probably gonna die, or unless you're a battle mage, I guess, which has a lot of HP as well. But yeah, just avoid hitting the damage reflect. So yeah. However, here's the thing in mind. Something to keep in mind. Her damage reflex works like any other damage reflex in the game. It can be dispelled by Zero's yellow curtain shower thing. I forgot. Time dilation, I think it's called. It can also be stopped by Magic Crash of Warrior class, and it can be stolen by Phantom and can be debuffed by Kinesis as well. So it's just a normal damage reflect, except the visual is very big because it's a gigantic bubble around her. But you can stop it with Magic Crash as well. So yeah, if you see when she's using the skill happening and you Magic Crash her and she puts her hands up, you probably won't see the red bubble anymore because Magic Crash completely nullifies the damage reflect, so she won't be even able to cast it. So it will all be good from there. So that's the first skill she has, which is damage reflect, and that damage reflects dealt with. Her second skill in the game is the face. This face is the skull again, except this time the property is a bit different from the first phase. The first phase put a fiery aura around you. This time she'll put undead debuff around you. This undead debuff, okay, works very differently from all the other undead debuff in MapleStory. So all the other undead debuff in the game, it'll kill you when you get healed, which is the same here, and you will receive half the effect of your potion. What's the call again? When you're using a potion, for example, Power Elixir is supposed to heal 100% of your health. Right now, it will heal 50% of your health. That's what the normal undead do. However, in Crimson Queen's case, what her undead effects does is that any potion that you will take, you will receive the reverse effect of it. Say Power Elixir is supposed to fully heal you, it will fully damage you. A white potion heals you 300 HP, for example, it will damage you 300 HP. So do not use the potion at any cost when you're undead. Okay, use Hero's Will if you have Hero's Will. If you're a class with Hero's Will, Night of Sightness, use it immediately and potion back up if you need to. Okay, do not use potion even when you're low on health and you have undead. You're gonna die from yourself. Okay, this makes it very hard for any party, because say you have your first phase that you fight her, the fire phase, you get the burn damage over time, and you didn't manage to dispel your fire from her breath because say she's changed phase when she casts the skill again, and then she changed to this phase and she casts undead on you. You're gonna take damage over time from the fire, and you can't pot up, because if you pot up, you'll take damage from your own potion, so you'll probably get burned to death from here. So it's just a bad time if you get her undead. Bishop's dispel can dispel the skull, so keep that in mind. If you have a bishop, please call her to dispel you. It is very vital and important that she does so. Okay. Yeah, it's just a bad time if you get undead by her, so avoid that at all costs. Just don't get undead. So her core attack during this phase actually works in conjunction with her undead. Her core attack this round is poison attack, and it's pretty high damage poison attack. It's not just normal poison attack. Once you get the poison and she casts undead on you, yeah, you're probably gonna die because you can't potion up, because potion gives you back the same effects, gives you the reverse effect of what it has, so you're probably gonna die from that. All-kill potion doesn't work with the undead effect, so Hero's Will is your best bet, or dispel from the bishop. But if not, yeah, I'm sorry, that goes your life, I guess. But yeah, at least we know what it does now, so you probably try your best to avoid it. That's all I can say. Yeah. So now that you made it through this far, let's talk about the final phase of the Crimson Queen. The final phase of the Crimson Queen is her lustful phase. This phase is one of the most dangerous phase if your party does not have damage, because it is probably one of the hardest stage to, control the Crimson Queen, because her skill is very annoying in this stage. Okay, so her main skill during this stage is that she spreads love around the battlefield. Okay, or hearts, whichever you want to call it. So these loves explode when you come into contact with them, or if you hit them. So if you hit them with a skill, they'll burst and explode, okay? The explosion takes some time to explode, so don't immediately attack the heart, then jump into the vicinity, because it haven't exploded yet and you're probably gonna take damage, which hurts a lot, because once this heart explode, they deal around 50% of your maximum health damage, and yeah, you're probably gonna have a bad time. 2 hearts is enough to KO your character, obviously, because one deals 50% of your maximum HP. Spam potion. Crimson Queen, all the CRA bosses does not have potion penalty. If you're ever in doubt, just spam power elixir. Okay, these hearts will knock you around. So say you're at the right side of the battlefield, the heart has a very high possibility to knock you to the left when it explodes, and then the heart at the left will explode and then will knock you back to the right, so you'll just be knocked around like a ping pong ball. So yeah, during that phase, just please just pod. You'll probably survive if you potion. And just avoid the hearts in general. If touch the heart, they won't immediately explode, it'll take time, and then run away from it, and then it'll explode. Or just use a big hyper skill to explode all of them and stand back and watch the fireworks. That's a good way to do it as well. So yeah, potion up for this loves. The second skill that I'm going to talk about during this Crimson Queen phase, or fate mode, whichever you want to call it, is probably the most dangerous skill she has among all the 4 phases, I feel at least. Okay, she'll summon a mirror. Okay, I'll call it Mirror of Doom, whatever, Mirror of Lust, whatever you want to call it. Okay, this mirror, once she summoned it, okay, has a 4-second timing window for you to destroy it. If you do not destroy it within these 4 seconds, okay, it will seduce the nearest player standing within the vicinity. Okay, if the seduced player is not dispelled from his seduce, or if the mirror is not destroyed in time before the player walks into the mirror because of the seduction, she will heal back a big chunk of HP, like huge amount of HP. And if you're a party with low damage and you're already running low on time, yeah, that's probably the end of your fight already. You probably need to redo the run, which is fine, but that's annoying to deal with. So once the mirror gets out, please destroy the mirror as fast as you can, and yeah, just destroy mirror as fast as you can. If you have a bishop in your party and she doesn't get seduced, another party member gets seduced, please dispel your party member as soon as you can. The mirror will not seduce 2 players at once. It will only seduce the nearest player within it. So dispel the player. The player cannot hero's will out of this seduction. It is a strong seduce. So yeah, please get rid of the seduce and we shall all have a good time. The mirror itself has, this is the stat of the mirror. I'll probably take it from MapleWiki as well. It probably has around 500 mil HP if I recall correctly, which is not that much anymore ever since the damage cut removed and 5th job came out. But if you're new to this game and needs a guide on how the mirror works, yeah, there you go. Please destroy the mirror as fast as you can. The claw attack during this phase is what was the claw attack during this phase again? Was it blood? No, skill up, yeah. The claw attack during this phase was skill up. You can all cure potion out of it, but why this is how it synergizes with your with her other skill during this phase is that once your skill is locked, you can't dispel your party member out of the seduce if you're a bishop. And as an attacker, you can't use your skill to destroy the mirror, which sometimes, at least when most people's damage was lower, it makes destroying the mirror a lot harder than it needs to be because your skill is locked. You need to click all cure potion, but then you're panicking during this phase because one of your friend or you yourself is going to get seduced soon, and by the time you panic finish and click the all cure potion, you probably get seduced already and you probably die to the mirror and you probably heal the mirror, heal the Crimson Queen. So just destroy the mirror when it comes out and everything should be okay. Her skill animation for it is the same as when she's casting the love skill. So it's very hard to tell apart, but if you ever see the mirror or if your party members see the mirror, hopefully you guys are using Discord or even communicating well, just scream out, okay, mirror's at the left side or mirror's at the right side. Everyone should just focus their attack on the mirror and then get back to the Crimson Queen. So yeah. So that's all the 4 phases of the Crimson Queen. Once you mastered all the 4 phases, there's really not much to Crimson Queen. She's just a walking meat bag, I guess. She just have a lot of HP and you just need to kill her. Not too much secret from her. I would say if you're having trouble but you know you have enough damage, just practice. Because practice makes perfect, and currently in MapleSea's patch, I know it's going to change next patch, Chaos Root Abyss does not have cooldown for their gate, so you should just practice as much as you can. Practice makes perfect after all, and with enough practice, I'm pretty sure you can take down Crimson Queen without even losing a life. And have enough damage and get those shards and make Fafnir equips. So yeah, I hope you have a good time fighting against Crimson Queen. I'll do my best to make more guides if there's more requests for it. And yeah, this is me returning to making guides again. It's been a long time coming, but yeah, I have some time now finally to make these kind of videos, so I hope you like it. Yeah, that's all the skill of Crimson Queen has as well, so yep. Yep, practice. Okay, bye! Have fun with your Crimson Queen, I guess.